Special level 2 member request here. Thank you very much for that. This song will be in standard tuning, E, A, D, G, B, E, and at times mostly two guitars, even a certain spot, maybe like a third guitar happening, but one of them is more of kind of like an arpeggiated acoustic vibe, and then the other one is doing more just electric, maybe a little overdriven, kind of lead type things, I guess. But for the initial section, the intro here, we're picking through a D shape, so just the open D, 2G, 3B, pick right down through it like that, once again, and then just come back, hit the 2G, so we went, and now we do these little pickup notes into the next chord, going into a C sus2 look, so we'll hit an open A, and then land on 3 of the A, and now we'll have an open G, keep that same 3 on the B, pick it just the way we did the other chord, so the 3A, open G, 3B, do that twice, back to the open G, and then we do the open A again to 2, so now we're into like a B minor flat 6, because we're going to keep the same open G and 3 on the B, pick just the way we did the other one, do the open A again, and now just chromatically down to the first fret, so the B flat 6, and we'll want the same open G and 3B, and then pick that just as we did. Okay, so slowly it's and the guitar will switch a little bit once we get into the next section, and this is also what's happening during the chorus, where we're picking that same progression, but we just change one note. Instead of hitting, for each chord, hitting the B string, the 3 on the B string twice, instead of that second time we hit that 3 on the B string, we switch that out for just an open E note. Everything else stays the same. So it would be, we skip that 3B and just make it an open E now, and then just back to the 2 on the G, and then everything stays the same, switch to the C, B, B flat, alright, and then same deal, B at the second fret here, first fret, alright, so just one note gets switched there. And the second guitar, the kind of a little more overdriven one, initially just starts with a few notes just swell kind of in, so you can do like the volume off and then just like hit the note, swell into it, or just hit it with some tremolo, sounds good. 3 on the B, 5, 6, 8, and then it does its own little riff here where we do the open D again, 2, 3, then to 5G. Okay, open 2, 3 D to 3B. Open 2, 3 on the D to 5B. Alright, and then what might be a third guitar, or maybe you could incorporate it into the second guitar, it just does this really big kind of D, 2, 3, open to like a big D5 power chord. Okay, so maybe you could do that and then kind of mix in those little second guitar. Okay, so it's a little tricky because you'll have to like cut that chord off a little bit, so it's up to you what you want to do there. That's also part of the chorus, of course. The verse section, we're picking through kind of some shapes we've gotten close to here. It's like a D, but it switches now to a F, then to a G, back to the F. It's like a major 7 to 6 to major 7. So, and we're just kind of sticking with like the G, B, and E string. Pick through like the D shape, the 2G, 3B, but we want this open high E in there, so it's like a sus. So we just kind of pick, 2G, 3B, 2G, 3B, open high E, 3B, 2G, and that's kind of the picking pattern we're looking for. Alright, switch the F major 7 look, so we got the 2G, 1B, open high E. Take that same shape and just slide it up 3 frets, so we got the 4, 3 with the open high E. And just right back down to the 2, 1, and the open high E. Alright, and it'll just cycle through that pattern for the verse. Bridge section, switching around with like a D to sus4, and we mix in like a minor, and then minor sus, so it's like picking through just the G, B, and E string here. 2, G, the 2E, 3B, 2G. And we want the sus4, so we just make that 2E a 3 now. Alright, just hit it once and let it ring, and then we'll pick through that. And then just back to the D, so just lift that 3 off to 2 on the high E. Alright, and that's kind of like the picking look that we're looking for, and it'll go from one chord to the other. Alright, so we go back to our D to sus4 again. Alright, pick through that. And now we want a D minor, so we just keep the same 2G, 3B, but we want the 1 on the high E. Pick through that. Back to the sus4 with the 3 on the high E. Pick through that. And now we want a minor sus2, so just go to that 2G, 1B, open high E. Pick through that. And then just go back to the sus4 with the 3 on the B and E. And now we just pick through this and just stay on it. Keep going E, B, G string. Alright, now it'll build us into the next section, which we get a solo going on, and it's basically just like an improv on a D minor pentatonic. So just some examples of what you could do here. Like do a bend on the 13B with the 10E under it. Give it a little bend there, a couple of them if you like. Bend it, release it off to 10B. Do a little bend on 12G, release off to 10. 12D back to 10G. And you can just play around with that scale a bit if you like. Come back up to it. Alright, just playing around with those minor pentatonic in a D. You go to the next position here where you slide up to 14G, 13B, hang out there a little bit. Okay, pick through that. Do the 14, 13, then 15B. Give that a few bends and releases. Back to the 14G. You can move back down to the other position. Bend around, mess around. Okay, just the minor pentatonic shape, and that'll pretty much just carry out throughout the end of the song, and you should be all set.